Hi Aries, welcome to March. This is Teresa from Tarot by T. And before I start your reading, let's talk about the astrology. Lots happening this month. We have Mercury moving into Pisces on the 3rd. We have a full moon in Virgo on the 7th. Saturn, this is big news, is moving from Aquarius into Pisces on the 8th. Venus will move into Taurus on the 17th. Mercury will then move out of Pisces and into Aries on the 20th. With the new moon in Aries at 0 degrees. It's in your sign. And then we have Pluto moving out of Capricorn after being in there since 2008. Pluto will be moving into Aquarius on the 24th. And Mars, your ruling planet, will move out of Gemini and into Cancer on the 26th. And we'll get into the details later. Let's see what the cards say for Aries for March. What does Aries need to know about love and relationships for the month of March 2023? A lot of things changing. A lot of change this month, and then we have the eclipses next month. So, quiet time is over. What does Aries need to know about love and relationships for the month of March 2023? What is happening? The big news is we're going to have 2 new moons. Well, we're going to have a new moon in Aries and then a solar eclipse in Aries next month. So let's see. And I'll get into that later. Let's see what we get. What does Aries need to know? The Queen of Cups. The 2 of Cups. The 9 of Pentacles in the past. The High Priestess. The 4 of Swords. The Ace of Cups in the near future. The 4 of Pentacles. The Moon in your environment. The 10 of Cups. And the Strength card. And the card at the bottom of the deck is the Judgment. Interesting. Okay, so it looks good. Love is on this month. You have the Queen of Cups in the present. Excuse me. Crossed by the 2 of Cups. So the Queen of Cups could mean you could be dealing with a water sign or someone who has the qualities of the Queen of Cups, which would be someone who's very spiritual, intuitive, sensitive, very compassionate. But it could also mean that you're tapping into those qualities, like your feminine side this month, that you're learning to be more softer, I guess. Instead of like the warrior energy, you're toning it down this month. That could be a possibility too, because I feel like you're going through some major changes internally. You have the 2 of Cups crossing this. So the 2 of Cups is a romance. It's a potential partnership where you really see eye to eye with someone. So you could possibly have a soulmate connection this month. The 2 of Cups is very positive. It's a positive sign that there's someone that you're dealing with that you can really connect with on a deep level. And you also have the Ace of Cups in the future. In the past, you have the 9 of Pentacles. So you might have been focused in the past on financial security and getting your ducks in a row, establishing a secure home. But then you're saying to yourself, well, what good is having all this success and all these comforts if I don't have someone to share it with? I feel like you're really wanting to connect with someone this month. And especially because the 10 of Cups is in your wish fulfillment sector. So you're wanting to have a connection that brings joy, love into your life. But not just physical attraction. You want something like a person who's going to be there, a love that's going to last. You have the High Priestess in the recent past. So that is a card of things happening behind the scenes, but it could also mean having to tap into your intuition, having to take some time. I feel like you need to quiet your mind. Or you've been doing that. You've been taking time out to meditate, to think, to listen to that inner voice. Like, what is my inner guidance telling me about a relationship? What is it that I really need? And I feel like you should trust your instincts. with the Nine of Pentacles, she's got a hawk in this card. So there could have been a message that came to you in the recent past. Maybe you heard from someone that you're interested in. You got a message that was significant. Because the hawk is always a message is coming. But this card is in the past. So maybe you've had a discussion with someone that you care about your relationship. And the hawk is about also seeing people for who they really are, seeing the truth, having courage to rise above, to see through people, to communicate in a direct way. And that's a strength of Aries. Aries is, as a fire sign, you're very direct. You're very, you don't beat around the bush. But I feel like you have the Four of Swords here coming up in the future. I feel like you needed to take some time out. So maybe you're connected to someone and you needed a break from them to really examine your feelings. Or you could be in the process of healing from a past relationship even. And that's been interfering with your ability to connect in the present moment with someone. But I feel like the healing, I feel like you've been in the healing mode and now you're going to come out of it. With all the energy going through Pisces, that's all been going through your 12th house. And that energy is going to start to shift. I feel like you are clearing up some things from the past. Clearing up old karma, clearing up anything that's been holding you back, psychological blocks. But you needed to take time to do that. You needed to take time to heal. And you have this Ace of Cups, which is a beautiful card for the future. This is a new beginning in love. Now, that could be, if you're not with someone, it could be a new love coming. The energy of new love is coming in. If you are with someone, it could be a new beginning in a current existing relationship. So it could go either way. And this is also a time card. And the time for this card is June, July, August. So I feel like over the summer, you're going to have an opportunity to connect with someone in a new way. But I feel like you're still going through this healing process. So you're not really ready for it yet, but the potential is there. So I feel like there's someone in your life now or in your environment that you can connect with on a soulmate level. But you may still have some healing to do. Or you may still have some things to clear up that are hidden. With the High Priestess, it could be psychological issues. Things that, and especially with the Strength card here, things that you may not even be aware of yourself. In your fear sector, you have the Four of Pentacles. This is a card of security, wanting security, holding on, the need for control. Maybe you're holding on to something too tightly. It could be money, it could be a relationship, it could be your need to control the outcome. So you need to release. The Ace of Cups is saying, let go of your need for control, and allow things to just flow. Because when you try to control the outcome, sometimes you wind up screwing things up. So you do have the two fours. Now, fours represent stability. You have in your environment the Moon card. So with the Moon card, you could be dealing with someone that you're not quite sure how they feel. You might not be seeing them clearly. So sometimes the Moon comes up when you think, can I trust this person? Are they genuine? Are they being true to me? And it could be that you're not seeing things, like you might be accusing them of things they're not doing, or you may see them in a negative light when you should be looking at them in a positive light. The Moon is kind of, you need to know more, especially with the High Priestess. So I feel like there are things, like if you, when these cards come up, I usually say, a lot of times when we don't know the answer, or when things are ambiguous, or there are things that are hidden, we fill in the blanks with our imagination. And usually it's not correct. Like you'll say, well, that person did this, they must be thinking that. Or that person, what do they mean by that? And you don't know if what you're filling it in with is correct. So you could be misinterpreting something or misunderstanding someone. I feel like there could be some misunderstandings in a relationship that need to be cleared up. And the only way to do that is through communication. The only way to do that is to sit down and talk and listen to what the other person has to say. Don't assume you know all the answers. Don't assume you know everything that's hidden. Maybe you need to confront talk to each other. Not confront in an accusing way, but just sit down and say, hey, I'm confused about this, this, and this. How do you feel? Or, clear up what's confusing. I think you're going to have that opportunity this month. And we'll see why later with the astrology too, because it could be a psychological card, the moon. It's a card where your mind is working overtime and you might be imagining worst case scenarios, or you might be imagining, you're going to extremes, but you're not dealing with reality. So it's time to really see things realistically this month and find out what's really true. So you might be not relating to someone in a real sense, or not, you could have a wonderful person that you could connect with, but you're not seeing them clearly, or you're not seeing them realistically, or you're missing it because your mind is twisting things in a different way. In your wish fulfillment, you have the Ten of Cups. This is the best card. I mean, you can have this love. This love is available to you. You have the Ten of Cups, the Ace of Cups, the Two of Cups. What's standing in your way, you have the Strength card as an outcome, and you have the Judgment. The Strength card is about learning to tame your emotions, learning to release your anger in a healthy way. The Strength, if you look at this card, she's trying to tame the lion. The lion is wounded and needs healing. And this person is trying to help the lion. So you could have someone in your life that's wanting to help you to heal. So you don't want to devour the hand. You don't want to bite the hand that feeds you, as they say. But the lion, when the Strength card comes up, it means dealing with your dark side, dealing with the part of you that's overreactive, that gets triggered and then reacts instead of responding calmly, instead of controlling your emotions. The Strength, sometimes people under the Strength energy, they don't know how to get their needs met through love and kindness. They have to have a big fight to get their needs met. Or they have to create conflict to get their needs met. But in any case, it's dealing with anger, it's dealing with insecurities, it's dealing with what part of you, where do you feel like I'm not deserving of love, or no one loves me, and then you have this anger build up, this frustration, and then you react, or you overreact to things because you're not dealing with the original wound that caused that feeling of lack or feeling of unworthiness. So that's the issue that you need to work on, because we are all lovable. We all deserve love. We are all worthy of love. So I feel like there could be some psychological things happening this month that can open you up to have a new beginning in love. With the Judgment card especially, this is a card of an awakening, having a spiritual awakening, and realizing where you need to change within yourself. What do I need to work on within me? What have I been doing that's blocking love from entering my life? What have I been doing that's sabotaging my relationships? Because the Judgment is like rising from the ashes. It's a rebirth. And I see that energy in your future. You're rising up when you deal with the issues that you haven't been willing to face, and deal with the parts of you, and you can't blame it, you can't look at other people. This is not an external thing. This is an internal journey, especially with the High Priestess. You have to look within and say, realistically, where have I been blocking love, and why? Why am I being triggered by things where I overreact in anger? And how can I heal those wounds so that I don't do that? I don't drive people away. Instead, because love is here, it's waiting for you. But you might be just blocking it or pushing it away. But the Judgment, the Judgment means rising above, rising up and waking up, kind of, and transforming. It's like a rebirth. And I see that rebirth with the Ace of Cups. You have a chance to have a new love, a new experience in love. It doesn't necessarily, if you're in an existing relationship, you can heal it and have a new beginning. and especially with the Four of Swords, because you may have been separated from someone, taking time out to heal. Maybe there's been a separation, a temporary separation. And then you come back healed and you approach the relationship in a new way. And for those who don't have a relationship, you may still be doing the healing, but now you're able to go out there and find that love, find that soulmate connection, because you're ready, you're open to it. You've healed your wounds. So I feel like that's what's happening in March for you, especially because we're going to be moving into, we're coming out of Pisces season, we're moving into Aries. And especially with that, the new moon that I'm going to talk about later, at the 0 point, it's a great, great time for new beginnings. So I think that this is a month of becoming more vulnerable, getting in touch with your feelings, getting in touch with your feminine side, your nurturing side, the part of you that knows how to love, the part of you that wants love, wants to give and receive love, and confronting any blocks that have been keeping you from doing that. So let's see what the angels have to say for Aries. What do the angels want you to know? Creativity. We, your angelic messengers, are here to help unleash the endless creative potential that you possess. Listen to the whispers of love inside your heart as we communicate with you through feeling and emotion. Let go of fear and apprehension and express the endless source of creativity you possess. Have fun and allow the inner child within you to express your true essence. All is valid. So love is on this month, especially after your healing journey. So don't be afraid to talk about your wounds. Don't be afraid to confront your fears, because the outcome is so positive. So let's see what the astrology has to say for you. So yeah, we have this full moon in your 6th house. That's the house of health and healing. The moon is in the 6th. The sun and Neptune are in your 12th house. So something is being revealed at this full moon in your psychological and health houses. It could also be 6th house is also the house of work. So if there have been some things hidden around a work issue, even health, where maybe you've been working too hard, not taking care of your health, that's going to come out. And you're going to have a potential to see what you need to change and what you need to heal. You have Uranus in the 2nd house, trining this moon. So your money, Uranus in the 2nd house, your money has been fluctuating up and down. But this is a trine, so there could be some unexpected developments that give you a greater sense of self-worth. The 2nd house is the house of money. So yeah, if you're waiting for money to come in, sure, it might come in. But it's more than money. It's more about, what do I need to feel safe and secure? What do I value? Am I valuing the right things? Am I valuing things that are good for me? Do I need to work on self-esteem issues? Because the 2nd house is also, what do I feel like I'm worth? Because we accept what we feel we're worth. Some people will accept a low-paying job because they don't feel they're worthy of more. Others will not accept less than a good-paying job because they know they're worth it. So where do you fall on that scale? There could be some surprising developments that will help you to heal. I feel like there's going to be surprises in health and psychological issues. Mars is in your 3rd house. It's squaring this full moon. So maybe it's time to speak up about certain things that you've kept hidden. Mars in the 3rd, you might be communicating with, because the 3rd house is communication. But it's also the house of siblings, aunts, uncles, relatives, your close family, friends, your local neighborhood. You might be getting more active at this full moon. You might be more verbal. Maybe if you've been bothered about something but you never said anything, now you're going to speak up. Just be careful that you don't go over the top with it, because Mars in the 3rd, Mars in the house of communication, can sometimes sound too forceful or sound too like you're in this fighting mode. So you want to choose your words carefully. Be calm. Don't go Don't fly off the handle. Mars is going to be switching over to Cancer. We'll get to that later. So this is the last leg in Gemini. It's been in Gemini since last year, last August. So you've been learning a lot about communication, your style of communication. How do I communicate with people? How do I get my point across? Am I too angry when I communicate? How do I communicate in a way that allows people to hear me? Mars is sextile Venus, and you're going to have Venus. Venus is in Aries. And you have a full house of Venus, Jupiter, Chiron in your first house. So they're not going to be there forever. Jupiter's been there for a while, so Jupiter's been giving you lucky opportunities and especially opportunities to heal, because Jupiter and Chiron are coming together, and your first house is your body, how you are seen in the world. Venus in the first house, you're being more charming, more agreeable. You're even looking more attractive. You can attract love when Venus is in your first house, especially when it crosses your ascendant. So this month, and probably even last month, because Venus moved into Aries last month, you have the potential to attract love. But I feel like a lot of what you can attract has to do with your positive thinking. Jupiter brings optimism. If you believe that you're lovable and you believe that you have the potential to attract love, you will attract love. But I also feel like there's some healing that has to happen because you have Chiron in the first as well. Mercury is in your 12th house. Mercury moved into Pisces at the beginning of March. On the 3rd, it moves into Pisces. So that you're doing a lot of thinking, behind the scenes thinking. The 12th house is the house of hidden things. So with Mercury there, you may be afraid to speak up, or you may not want to. You may be thinking about a lot of things, but you're not ready to communicate them yet. But it's also a good time for you to talk about psychological issues. So if you've ever wanted to do any kind of psychotherapy, when Mercury's in the 12th, it's a perfect time to talk about those things. Talk about whatever you feel that's been holding you back. Talk about things, maybe ideas or thoughts that you've never shared with anyone before. But it will help you to heal. Saturn is in the last degree of Aquarius, and it's moving this month on the 8th, right around this full moon, right after the full moon, into Pisces. And when it does that, Saturn's moving into your 12th house of psychological blocks, hidden things that are hidden. It rules hospitals, prisons, meditation, areas of worship, like ashrams when you go away and you take, like hermit, take a time out, go on a retreat. It also rules the end, like Saturn is a karmic planet. So I feel like you're wrapping up old karma. You're getting ready to clear out the baggage, your psychological baggage. And with Saturn there, you can do that. It's going to be a lot of work. It may feel heavy at times, but if you can do it, you will feel much lighter when Saturn leaves Pisces 2.5 years from now. It's just moving into Pisces now. It's been in Aquarius. It's been in your 11th house for a long time. And so you've been evaluating your friendships and the groups that you belong to. Well, that's coming to an end. Now it's moving into the 12th house. It's ending a cycle. The 12th house is like the end of the zodiac. So it's time for release. It's time to let go. It's time to drop your baggage, finish old karma. You're ending a cycle, a karmic cycle. And Pluto's been in Capricorn since 2008 in your 10th house of career. It's been transforming your whole life direction and how you are seen in the world. Now Pluto is going to move into Aquarius in your house of friendship and the groups and your hopes and your dreams. So you might be connecting with powerful people when Pluto moves into Aquarius. And Pluto will move this month, at the end of the month. Pluto will be in Aquarius. Let's see what else. Venus is sextile. So when Pluto moves into Aquarius in your 11th house, it's really a powerful time to achieve a goal or a dream that you've always wanted to achieve, to join with others to transform the world in some way. So if you might be, connecting with people that wield like the power, the movers and shakers of the world. You might be connecting with a group that really wants to make a difference in the world and help people less fortunate. Now is a great time to get involved in a project like that, if you've ever wanted to do that. Pluto is going to transform your friendships in a powerful way. You might attract people that really are very Plutonian, you know, you might have power struggles with friends. Or you might attract someone that can transform your life in a powerful way. Venus is sextile Mars this month. So that's really good for love. And Venus in Aries is going to be conjunct, well, it already hit Jupiter. But it's still close enough at this new moon, at this full moon, to have an influence. So love is on this month. I feel like the only thing, if you're not having a love relationship this month, it's because you're blocking it in some way, and you need to work on that because it's on. Then on the 21st, okay, so before we get to the new moon in Aries, Venus moves into Taurus, which is going to be in your second house of money. And so Venus is going to bring money in. Mercury moves into Aries, so it moves out of the 12th house into your first house. So you're going to be more communicative. You're going to be wanting to communicate and get your ideas across and tell everyone what you're thinking. Mars moves into Cancer. Now, Mars is your ruling planet. It's strong in Aries, but it's not so strong in Cancer. So in Cancer, Mars is going to be in your 4th house. And that's the house of home. So your energy is going to be connected to the home. You might be fixing up your house. You might be doing a lot, trying to establish a home for yourself, working on your home. If you're living with someone, there could be arguments in the home. So you want to be careful about that. But this new moon in Aries is at 0 degree Aries. It's a very significant point, the 0 degree point. And it coincides with the spring. So it's the new astrological year. You have like a new, powerful new beginning to start something new that can really open up your world, because you have Jupiter and Chiron also in Aries, and they are sextile. This moon is sextile Pluto. It's an out of sign sextile, and it's still squaring Mars. It's an out of sign, but whatever you're starting at this new moon, it can really have a powerful impact on your life and your direction. It can attract, so if you're ever wanting to start a project like you've always wanted to start, or join a group that really wants to make a difference in the world, do it at this new moon or just after it. And you can see how close you come to achieving a goal or a dream. Venus in your 2nd is sextiling Saturn. So there could be, if you're thinking about love, Venus sextile Saturn is good. Venus is conjunct the North Node. So I feel like if you're wanting to make a commitment that involves money or involves, I feel like you're changing in the things that you value are changing, and you're wanting something that's more stable in your life. Because when Venus sextiles Saturn, you could have a love that lasts. And there could be an age difference, or there could be one person acts more like a partner or a parent to the other. But I feel like you're tired of living alone or being alone, and you're really wanting to connect with someone this month. And with the North Node in Taurus and Venus conjunct the North Node, I feel like the focus should be on love that brings security and value to your life. Love that has value, not just like, a quick connection. You don't want like a one-night stand kind of thing. You're looking for true love that will last, something that will go the distance. And I think you can achieve that. When Venus is sextile Saturn, you can make a commitment, but because it's a sextile, you're going to have to take action. So you're going to have to, do the work. Venus is also squaring Pluto. It's an out of sign square, and it's kind of separating. But there could be some power struggles in love. So you have to look at that. But the North Node wants you to feel safe and secure, wants you to establish a relationship that will last. But you may have to take action, and you may have to take responsibility for for your part in the relationship as well. Mars is also trining Saturn. Mars is at 28 degrees Gemini. It will move into Cancer at the end of the month, and then it's going to really trine Saturn. So this month, love is on. And you can, if you work on yourself and confront the things that need to be healed, release old baggage, release old karma, prepare for the new, prepare for taking responsibility, making a commitment, having a new start in love. I think it's all possible. And you can really create something that lasts, that gives you a sense of longevity, stability, something really of value. But it's going to involve work because Saturn is involved. So Saturn always involves a lot of hard work, but the reward is great if you're willing to do the work, make the commitment, take responsibility, step up to the plate. You can establish something that's really wonderful. So that's my forecast, Aries. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, click on the like button, click on the subscribe button if you want to find out when I upload videos. Leave a comment if you want to support the channel. Either click on the like button or leave a comment. If you'd like a private reading, click on the link in the description box. It'll take you to my website. What else did I want to say? There was something I wanted to... Oh, and if it's March, some of you might be having an early birthday. Early Aries are, at the end of March. Aries starts at the end of March. So if you're having a birthday in March, happy birthday. And I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you're new, welcome. Love is on. So let me know how it turns out, and I'll talk to you again next month. Okay, bye now.